Okay, so we're just motoring into Chasqui Bay now. I'm going to do all my talking here, so when we get into the bay, you guys can enjoy the beautiful sights and sounds of the waterfalls without me trying to compete with the majesty again. It doesn't quite work for me to compete with the majesty. So, we're about halfway around the lake so far. Have you guys noticed any big rivers or streams flowing into or out of the lake? I mean, like something on the size of like the Truckee River that flows out of Lake Tahoe? Not so much? Huh, interesting. Well, what that must mean then is that all of our water comes from rain and snow. We get quite a bit of snow up here at Crater Lake, on the order of 44 feet every year on average. We are one of the snowiest places in the country, and all of this rain and snow that at least lands in the caldera is what filled our lake up to its current level. And what that means is a couple of different things for us here at Crater Lake. So, since all of this water is from rain and snowmelt, first off means that our water is extraordinarily pure. So pure, in fact, that you can actually drink the water straight out of the lake untreated, unofficially. Officially, as a National Park Ranger and an employee of your federal government, I cannot recommend or condone that you do so. If you choose to do so, you do so at your own risk, and anything that can, and I'm told will happen, is no fault of the National Park Service, the Department of Interior, and the United States government as a whole. Unofficially, though, the water is fine. I've been drinking it for what feels like years with no ill effect. My supervisors, decades with no ill effect. You just didn't hear it from me. So because our water is so pure, it's also extraordinarily clear, as you guys, well, definitely not me, as you guys noticed back in Stealth Channel, and will notice again up here at Chasqui Bay. So clear, in fact, that we actually keep a pretty tight watch on how clear it is. We use a device that looks like this. This is called a SETI disc. I know that because it is labeled here on the back as such. Now, our lake researchers, they use one of these. The basic way they use one is they go out to the middle of the lake, to the very deepest point, on a nice clear day, kind of like today. They drop one of these overboard, lower it down into the water column, and when it just disappears from view, they take a depth reading. Now, here at Crater Lake, we get some pretty amazing depth readings. Our record for water clarity, set back in 1994, is 143 feet in depth, almost half a football field, with the average being right at around 100 feet or so. And at this point, you guys are more than welcome to stand on and get a little better view of the falls we're coming into. So again, pretty amazingly clear. When you guys look down into the crystal, when you guys look down into the beautiful blue water, you're seeing about 100 feet down or so.
Wow.
So because our water is so clean and so clear, we can finally talk about the big question of why it is so blue. Well, all of the color you guys are seeing, it's all a completely natural phenomenon, and it is due to the cleanliness and the clarity of the water. Basically what's happening is that when the light from the sun enters the water column, it is able to penetrate to such a depth where the lower energy wavelengths, the reds and oranges and yellows and greens, they're all absorbed by the water molecules as heat. Higher energy wavelengths, though, those blues and indigos and violets, they tend to vibrate at the same frequency as the water molecules themselves, so they bounce off the water molecules, they illuminate the water column, and shine back to our eyes as this beautiful sapphire blue color. Now, you guys might have noticed the green color, maybe in more shallow parts of the lake. Well, this is, again, exactly the issue. The water isn't nearly as deep, so it's not quite deep enough for some of those green wavelengths to be absorbed. So some of those green wavelengths, they again bounce off the water molecules and shine back to us as this beautiful emerald or jade green color. So again, all the color we're seeing here in the lake is all a completely natural phenomena, and it is due to how clean and how clear the water here is in Crater Lake. So I'm going to jump off the mic and let you guys enjoy the sights and sounds and smells of Chasqui Bay. You guys enjoy. Oh, last thing I'll mention, these falls are being fed by the rain and snow way high up on the Chasqui Slide is what people doing. So all that snow melting up top feeding these falls.